Halsey is an anagram of my first name, Ashley.
Ever wonder who James Alexander or Mary Louise were? Spoiler, you already know who they are. We all have our favorite celebrities who we adore, support, or look up to. But one thing we often forget about them is the fact that their stage name isn't their real name. Well, most of the time. While it's easy to assume that some names are obvious monikers, it's not always that easy without doing a little bit of research. And knowing why some of these celebrities changed their names may even shock you as much as it shocked us.
First, I was just called Iggy, and that was because I had a dog called Iggy who I loved very, very much.
Lizzo. While she'd always been a talented musician, Truth Hurts hit it big with Lizzo's fans. And no one's forgotten her name since then. But her real name is Melissa Vivian Jefferson. Before she became Lizzo, Melissa was in a rap group called Cornrow Click when she was 14. Her stage name was originally Lissa, short for Melissa, but when Jay-Z's song Izzo became a fan favorite, she decided to run with Lizzo. And the rest is herstory. Travis Scott. Travis Scott has been a big voice in hip-hop and has collaborated with some of the hottest artists in the industry. But before he was Travis Scott, he was Jacques Berman Webster II. So why the name Travis Scott? According to Travis during an interview, it was his favorite uncle's name who he looked up to. And that's something we can all respect. Jojo Siwa. There are very few people who don't know who Jojo Siwa is. And if you don't know, then you've at least seen her face on countless pieces of merchandise at pretty much any store. But before dance moms and making bright colors a signature staple, she was born Joelle Joni Siwa. And it makes sense when you think about it, combining two of her names. Clearly, it's worked well for her as her name is everywhere. Doja Cat. Saying that Doja Cat makes waves in the music industry is a vast understatement. But as you could already imagine, no, Doja Cat isn't her given name. Her real name is Amalaratna Zandiale Dlamini, but Doja Cat seemed more fitting for the talented singer, rapper, and songwriter. The reason being that she has a deep love for cats and, well, we'll just say, certain recreational activities. From there, Doja Cat was born, and she's been bringing us bangers ever since. Chase Stokes. We've known him more recently as John B. from Outer Banks, even though Netflix is heavily sleeping on making that Season 3 confirmation announcement, but I digress. But neither of those are his given name. Chase was born James Alexander Chase Stokes. He went by Chase in high school, but because he was known as a class clown, his teachers never believed him. But we bet they know his preferred name now as it rolls in the credits of one of Netflix's hottest shows, The Weeknd. Okay, so this one may be more obvious than the others, but while we refer to him as The Weeknd, it's not his real name. Though yes, it would be kinda cool if it were. His real name is Abel McConnon Tespe. According to a Reddit Ask Me Anything, he chose the name after dropping out of school and leaving home one weekend. He stated, "I hated my name at the time though, so I tried it as a stage name. It sounded cool." Halsey. For those who aren't too familiar with Halsey, one could probably assume that that was her real name. We have Billie Eilish, after all, whose first name really is Billie, but her real name is Ashley Frangipani. Fans have always thought Halsey was an anagram of her first name, which she later confirmed during a Vivo interview.
And it's also a street in Brooklyn where I spent a lot of time growing up.
Post Malone. As cool as Post Malone is as a stage name, the Syracuse native was originally born Austin Richard Post, which is honestly still kinda cool. There are theories that he chose the name because of his love for NBA legend Karl Malone, and other theories suggest he got his name from a random generator, which worked for Childish Gambino, so who knows. Either way, Post Malone isn't a name anyone's forgetting anytime soon. Lorde. Okay, real talk, how awesome would it be if you could actually introduce yourself as Lorde in your daily life? But in reality, she was born Ella Maria Lanny Yellick O'Connor. While she mentions she prefers being called Ella, according to an interview with ABC News, she wanted a name that was really strong and had this grandeur to it. Yeah, girl, with a name like Lorde, mission accomplished. Natalie Portman. The stunning and talented Natalie Portman that we know today has definitely become a household name where entertainment is concerned. But her real name? Natalie Hirschlag. Originally from Israel, the name given to her at birth is a traditional Hebrew name, but it changed when she and her family moved to the US. The actress then became Natalie and took her grandmother's maiden name, Portman. Lana Del Rey. Lana's sultry tone and vocal skills don't often go unnoticed, and if you've listened to her music, you'll know why. She was originally born Elizabeth Woolridge Grant, but there was another name she went by before we knew her as Lana Del Rey. In fact, before using that pseudonym, she was known as Lizzie Grant, her original pseudonym when she first started singing. And when her career didn't take off, she switched things up and became the unforgettable Lana Del Rey. Portia De Rossi. When we see Portia, we see a stunning star with a name that fits her perfectly, but her birth name was Amanda Lee Rogers. While still a great name, there are reasons she decided to change it when she was 15. She stated during an old interview with Advocate, "I think it was largely due to my struggle about being gay. I was trying to find things I could identify myself with, and it started with my name." Iggy Azalea. The international star who first graced us with Fancy and a trail of other bangers was originally born Amethyst Amelia Kelly. She developed her stage name when she started seriously working on her music. According to an interview with Vivo, she named herself Iggy after a dog she had and Azalea after the street name her mom and family lived on. Fans have been bumping to her music ever since. Olivia Wilde. Have you ever loved a creator so much that you wish you could embody them in some way? It's safe to assume that's how Olivia Wilde felt when changing her name. Originally born Olivia Cockburn, the actress changed her last name to Wilde after high school, where she played the character Gwendolyn in her school's rendition of Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest. Blake Lively. The Gossip Girl star has by far one of the coolest names in Hollywood, but some fans may be shocked to find out that Lively wasn't originally the actress's last name. She was originally born Blake Ellender Brown, but when her father Ernie decided to take the surname of her mother, she became Blake Lively. And because of her talent and hard work, there are very few people who don't know the name. Pink. An icon who's been in the game for literally decades, Pink is an artist that no one could forget. And who would want to? She gave us Perfect and So What. But while we know her as Pink, her real name is Alicia Beth Moore. Her stage name was inspired by Steve Buscemi's character, Mr. Pink, from the 1992 film Reservoir Dogs. So I guess we have Quentin Tarantino to thank for giving us Pink, sort of. Meryl Streep. It's universally safe to say that Meryl Streep is a legend at this point, and has been for some time. Her name rolls off the tongue even for those who aren't familiar with her work. But she was originally named Mary Louise Streep. Honestly, it's still as iconic. She was named Mary after her mother and Louise after her mother's best friend. It was her father who came up with the name Meryl, and it's a name that'll likely live on forever. Calvin Harris. Where to even start with Calvin Harris? He's widely successful and has worked with pretty much every artist, as well as pushing out some of the biggest hits of our generation. But his real name is Adam Richard Wiles. In an old interview, he stated, "My first single was more of a soul track, and I thought Calvin Harris sounded a bit more racially ambiguous." Jamie Foxx. Whether you know him from his comedy, films, or music, everyone knows Jamie Foxx. Or should I say, Eric Marlon Bishop, given that that's his real name. In a 2015 interview with David Letterman, he explained that he changed his name after noticing that women were getting more stand-up slots.
Stacey Green, Tracy Brown, Jamie Foxx.
He then changed his name to Jamie Foxx, and the rest was history. Mindy Kaling. You honestly can't think of Mindy Kaling without smiling, because if you're familiar with her work, she's probably made you laugh hysterically. This gorgeous and talented actress and screenwriter was originally born Vera Mindy Chokalingam. Her parents, who are originally from India, gave her a Hindu name, but she liked her middle name better. She later shortened her last name to Kaling. Okay, honest question, which celebrity name were you the most shocked by? And what do you think of some of these professional monikers? Be sure to comment down below and hit the like button, and subscribe to The Thing Celebrity for more.